Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Rei-Lin, and this week has been kind of slow, and not a whole lot has been going on, especially not in the world of armored warfare, but there are a few little things I wanted to talk about, a few games here and there that are either out, about to come out, or maybe in the future I'll be doing a lot of talking about. But on the armored warfare front, not a whole lot. It's pretty much like they've sort of just released patch 0.20 and haven't done a whole heck of a lot with it, really. I mean, yeah, they redid the garage UI, but and then, they did buff some tanks and move things around, but they also threw in that campaign, and it's just pissed off so many people because of the bundles with the tanks. Absolutely worthless. When it comes to that, I really don't like the bundle thing. I wish they would just stop doing it. But in lieu of obviously, not listening to anybody, they've brought out a new bundle. Two new tanks that aren't really new. They're reskins, and they're called the Joker tanks. What are the Joker tanks? Well, you get a BMD-4 Joker tank, or you can get the Bagel Panzer 57 Joker tank, or you can get them together as one little bundle. Oh boy. Basically, the Joker tanks, if you know who the Joker is from the Batman series, he's been around forever. Surely by now everyone pretty much knows who the Joker is when it comes to comic book villains and stuff like that. So it's basically a tank that has purple and green splashed all over it with a bunch of ha-ha-has, and that's basically it. It's just another reskin of a couple of tanks that no one really generally cares much about. I mean, okay. I mean, the BMD-4 is a tier 6, and the Bagel Panzer is a tier 5, and they're both premium tanks. But, I just don't see the point. They're kind of expensive for what you get. And, okay, I like the tanks. I did. I really like the Bagel Panzer. I don't so much anymore since they've basically made it sort of garbage. And they're both low tier tanks. I mean, tier 6, you're starting to get up there where, some of the tanks, have some hit points, have some armor, can actually take a beating, are a little bit more fun than the lower tier tanks, but still, I mean, unless you're a real big fan of the Joker and just can't see yourself living without these tanks, yeah, pass, pass, pass. Of course, you always, as they always do, they do give you some premium time, they give you some boost tokens, they give you some loot crates, but whatever. I've basically just decided to spare everybody just me making these little announcements every time they put up a new bundle, because it doesn't seem like they're going to listen to anything that anyone says, and they're going to keep putting these stupid bundles out there. So unless it's a bundle that I actually think is really, really good and worth your time, and worth the time to listen to me tell you that it's worth your time and gold and money to get them, I'm probably not going to be doing these kind of little, hey, what's up, here's a new bundle kind of videos anymore. It's just a waste of time. I mean, you don't need me to tell you that it's a crappy deal or it's a cool deal. I mean, at this point, you're basically saying, hey, I really like this skin. It's no longer that it's a really cool, unique tank. It's just that it's a damn reskin of tanks again, once again, reskins of tanks that are already in the game. I don't care if they made them into premium tanks. I really don't care. That's not the issue. The issue is that they're not unique just because you have a damn paint job on it. I don't care. Oh, okay, now if it fired Joker bullets and it laughed at everybody when you hit them, or did damage if the Joker was the commander, anything that might actually set it apart from just being just a reskin, okay, sure, whatever. That might be kind of, a novel, haha, that's kind of funny. But that's not what it is. They're just reskins of a couple of tanks that no one generally cares about. You can get them until June 15th, so that is coming up pretty quick on Thursday of this week. So if you're interested in getting the Joker tanks, they are on the they're basically on the website. They're on the shop. Get them and well, tell me what you think down in the comments. Did you get them? If you got them, tell me what you think. Hey, maybe they are special in some other way that I just obviously can't see with screenshots or text describing them. So, but anyway, moving away from Armored Warfare, I think the majority of people have basically just sort of moved away from Armored Warfare. So I've started to try to focus my sights on a few other games that I might start doing more regularly. A few games that might interest other people out there. I started my channel, of course, to kind of focus on Armor Warfare, but at this point, it's starting to tread down a path that I'm not really that interested in. And a lot of people, I think, agree with me on that. I really don't want to keep beating this game to death if people really aren't interested in the game, outside of maybe me just running a replay as I talk over top of it, just as something to show in the background. But if the game doesn't start to turn a corner and go in a direction that I'm really finding really interesting and think that all of you out there would find interesting as well, I'm just going to stop covering it completely and move on to something that I am enjoying playing on a regular basis, or at least moving to other games, multitasking a little bit, and playing several games that people might be interested in listening to me yak about. So I did run into a couple of new games. One is sort of in the, it's still closed beta, but you can buy your way in, called Critica Online. It's from En Masse, or En Masse, however you want to say the company. They're behind the same people that have released Terra Online. So it's not really anywhere close to what Terra is. It's almost like you took Dragon Nest and kind of smushed it together with Vindictus a little bit. And then they've got a spattering of Dungeon Fighter Online, but done in 3D. The art style is kind of cute. It's anime sort of styled. It's fast-paced action RPG. It's sort of just like a 3D Dungeon Fighter. Somebody mentioned that, and yeah, in one hand I can see it shares a lot of things with it, from the costumes that you can pick from the store. It does have an in-game shop, of course, that's mostly cosmetic stuff. To just the general UI of the game is somewhat similar. How it plays, obviously, because it's 3D, is very different, but the general idea and the feel of it is kind of there. If you've never played Dungeon Fighter Online, I would suggest that to anybody and everybody. It is a beautiful, wonderful game that I'll probably end up throwing a video up and talking about sometime in the near future. But that's Critica Online. It's out. You can buy your way in. It should be coming out within the next month or two, I would hope. It seems pretty well polished. It does have some very cringe-worthy U.S. American voices, though, so prepare yourself for that. If you are a fan of these kinds of MMOs slash RPGs, Korean grind kind of games, dungeon diving type games, you'll probably be used to the crappy voice acting anyway, so it may not mean anything to you. You're just diving in just because the gameplay is cool. And the gameplay is kind of fun. I haven't had a chance to really get in there and spend too much time with it. The time I spent with it was pretty fun, though, so might be something people can put on their radar, check out if they feel the need to. Of course, I'm still playing and loving the crap out of Elder Scrolls Online Morrowind. The game officially released on June 6th. It's been doing pretty damn well. Vardenfall is beautiful. It's big. There's a lot of things to do, a lot of things to see. Brings back the memories for people that play the older Elder Scrolls Morrowind game. A lot of familiar faces, a lot of familiar places. Unfortunately for me, like I said, I had to pretty much get a history lesson by watching other YouTube videos comparing the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind to the Elder Scrolls Online's version of Morrowind, just to see any similarities, see if anything jogged my memory, because it has been a very long time since I've played that game. But as far as the overall game goes, the Elder Scrolls is still very much alive. The community, I think, is one of the best for an MMO that I've played in a very long time. People are very helpful. There are tons of guilds. A lot of people get into guilds for all kinds of activities, from PvP to PvE to just plain flat out questing, or doing auction house type of stuff for selling their wares to people. It's a very player driven economy when it comes to that too. There is no centralized auction house like most people probably know of World of Warcraft. You just go up to an auctioneer, and the auction house is anything from anyone at any time could be up there for you to buy. It doesn't work quite the same way in the Elder Scrolls Online, so it becomes very player driven. So the economy kind of goes where the players want it to go, and the prices don't seem to spiral so damn far out of control that you'll never own or be able to buy anything in the game. So Still a lot of fun. I'm having a blast with it. Me and my friends are enjoying it. There's a lot to see. If you pick that game up, it's about $30. You could probably get it even cheaper depending on your sources. Really worth the purchase, in my opinion. I think it is really fun and a very beautiful game, just in general. Another game that is coming out surprisingly quickly on June 26th is The Secret World Legends. I finally got to see a little bit of the closed beta that they're doing. It's still under an NDA that's supposed to be lifted very soon. I wish they would lift the NDA so that a lot more could be said about the game and kind of generate a lot of hype. The closed beta stuff that I have seen, I haven't actually gotten into the beta myself. A friend of mine has. I'm waiting to see what their opinion of it is, since they, and myself included, have played the original Secret World, and now moving on to this one that has drastically changed quite a bit of the game itself. We're looking forward to seeing just how well that they've improved things. Graphically, it has gotten a facelift, nothing too dramatic. You're not talking going from PS2 graphics to PS4, but basically like PlayStation 3 to 4, maybe something like that. It's not a huge jump, but it's still there. You can tell that it has been improved. The gameplay is very different. The skill wheel is gone, for example. It's more of a linear progression with the weapons and gaining experience for your weapons and upgrading your gear. A level progression system, sort of like most other MMOs on the market, although it's not quite as locked in place as some of the other MMOs. Overall, the gameplay itself for all the weapons and the classes that go along with the weapons is quite different. You could say, well, one of the unique things was the skill wheel and stuff like that. The counter argument to that was that, yeah, the skill wheel had a lot of skills, but a lot of it was a lot of fluff and didn't really do that much in the long run. So, yeah, you had all these choices, but most of the choices were kind of set in stone anyway. If you wanted to be particularly effective at something, you had to always pick the same skills and the same passives that go along with that. How this ends up turning out in the end, we'll just have to wait and see. It still looks really good. Apparently, the main quest line is mostly unchanged. The factions are mostly unchanged. The atmosphere is still mostly unchanged as far as, you know, keeping with the spookiness, the different types of atmospheres. You have the zombies in one part, vampires in another, Egyptians in another. So the main storyline and stuff like that has been cleaned up, and mainly it's all intact at this point. So if you really like the mood and the setting and the sounds and the creepiness of the whole thing, the vibe that the Secret World had back in the day was very unique, and most of that has remained intact. And that is a really good thing, because it's going to hopefully be bringing in all new people as well as the veteran players from the Secret World moving over into Legends, and hopefully they'll, you know, be more supportive. I mean, the people did support the game, but it was kind of overshadowed at the time, you know, between World of Warcraft and Rift and Star Wars. So a lot of people never really got to see or play the Secret World, or maybe they tried it well after its peak had started to definitely come down. So with less people to do anything, less help, less guides online, for example. So hopefully this will bring in new blood, some of the old blood, to help the new guys and the gals. And I think it's going to be pretty cool. I'm going to definitely check it out. I played the original Secret World, and I really had a lot of fun. And the biggest complaint for the most part was, you know, the combat system, the stiffness of the animations, all of which has now been more or less changed and updated to more of a 2017 sort of look. So the animations are better, the spells are better, the effects are better. It'll just take time, obviously, for people to adjust, because it does play and does look quite a bit different than the original game. But that's all, hopefully, a good thing for the community of people who enjoy playing all of these games in the first place. I know I'm going to be enjoying it. And other than that, I really haven't had too much of hankering to play a lot of things. Those were the major ones that I've seen. Some stuff is going on at E3 right now. I've seen some very impressive games that I'm very interested in, but they're on console at the moment, so I'm not that interested in it to go out and spend a lot of money on a console to play one or two games. Might be more exciting later on. Obviously, there's more stuff to come from E3 this week, and hopefully everything that comes out will be just really, really nice. I can't wait. There's some things that I've been wanting to play. I really want to play Destiny 2. I've heard that the PC version was delayed or might get delayed just because it's the PC version and they want to make sure that it is ready to go before it comes out and, bug free and everything, and everybody gels well together. So I know those games are kind of tricky to put together, especially when you're not used to having a lot of games on PC. And of course, Destiny 1 was not on PC, it was on console, to save themselves a lot of frustration. And so hopefully they're gonna come out and knock our socks off. I mean, it looks good. I really liked the original Destiny just on the looks, and the gameplay looked like a lot of fun. I'm really liking first-person shooter MMOs. I wish there were more of them. I always wish that there was a Borderlands MMO RPG that you could get into just as something fun and different. Maybe we'll get that someday. I don't know. But anyway, that was just a quick video. I wanted to put something out there this week. There's really not a whole lot going on. If anyone has any suggestions on games, I know there are a few that I've seen some other streamers like Maxwell and Circumflexes playing outside of their usual World of Tanks and stuff like that. I haven't seen a whole lot of really interesting RPGs and MMOs. Those are my main fun type of games that I'm interested in playing a lot of and doing content on, outside of the ones I'm playing now. So if anyone has any suggestions, either it's free to play, it can be buy to play, things like that. I'm interested in a lot of stuff. I'm sure other people that come to my channel are too, and if they can get some suggestions in the comments down below, I'll take a look at it. If it's something worth playing or worth letting everyone know, I'll definitely make a video on it and put it on my channel just to let everyone know, hey, there's something here. Some people thought it was pretty cool. Here we go. Here you go. Here's what it looks like. Here's the general idea, etc. So hopefully this will just help out everyone that's maybe on the fence. They're bored. They don't have anything to play. Few games coming out. Obviously, Armored Warfare is taking a back seat right now, unless they come out with a couple of new patches or at least some brand new tanks that I can talk about. There's really not anything I can show you that's new on Armored Warfare that anyone really cares about. I'm not going to bother with these bundles unless it's something really awesome. Then I'm going to definitely make a video and let everyone know it. Right now, it's just blah land as far as Armored Warfare goes. So anyway, that's going to do it for this video. If you enjoyed it, if you liked it, please press the like button down below. It does help out my channel. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe to my channel, you can click down the bottom of your screen right now. That'll get you all the latest updates every time I put up something new on my channel. Thanks a lot, everybody. Take care, and I'll talk to you all next time.